So recently I took a break from social media and I had kind of mixed feelings about it. First, I was a bit anxious because I've been trying to actively grow my social media and my platforms. And I actually have been seeing a lot of growth lately, especially over on my short form content channels on TikTok and Instagram. One of my videos went viral and I was so happy. And then God was like, that's real cute and all, but I'm gonna need you to go offline now. Of course, I was battling with it because I'm like, I don't want to go offline in the height of my channel finally receiving some sort of buzz. I didn't want to lose momentum. I don't want to get kicked to the curb by the algorithm. You know how these algorithm streets be, especially on TikTok, child. This isn't the first time I've taken a social media break. I actually do them very regularly. However, this is the first time that I've taken a break as a content creator or someone who is actively trying to grow their platforms. I was like, God, I don't know. It's just starting to get good. I'm just a girl. And God reminded me, do you remember what happened the last time I made you go on a social media fast when you didn't want to? And I was like, oh, yeah. And then I decided to make a video about it. Hey, it's Jazz. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new here, then what up? If you're not, then welcome back. On this channel, I talk about all things related to faith, film, fitness, and all that jazz. You get it? Because my name is like Jasmine, so like all that jazz. Men. I feel like I don't take all that. This is a story about how taking a break from social media landed me my first production deal. I've already told a version of the story already on my channel, so I won't go into extreme detail, but I will recap it real quick. Before transitioning into the TV and film industry, I was an athlete and that was my career. I play basketball and I dance. I had just moved back to the States from playing basketball overseas. I turned down 2 offers to play basketball in 2 other countries. I ended up firing my agent and I was like, I'm going to do this screenwriter thing. I'm gonna figure out how I can get to Hollywood. There was a film idea that I had and I wanted to film it, but see how my bank account was set up? Filming is expensive, y'all. So instead of making a big film, I decided to write a 2-minute teaser in which I wanted to film with a skeleton crew and use that as a proof of concept so that I can use that to raise funds and then make it a bigger film later. I locked in a crew, I locked in a cast, everything was set. And then 3 days before the actual filming date, I was ghosted by literally every single person in the cast and the crew, except for the sound guy. Shout out to Chef Lonray. He's the GOAT. During that time, God told me to get off of social media, and I was like, absolutely not. Because like I said, I didn't have a job, I didn't have money. I was making money here and there, freelancing on different film sets and working with other people on their projects. And most of those jobs I got from social media. I didn't know anybody, so that's where most of my community was coming from. And I told God, how am I supposed to fast from social media when that's where my money's coming from? And also, that's where my communities come from. Unfortunately, I did lose that cast and crew for the film shoot that I was trying to do, but there's more people out there that I can reach out to and build my own crew. What are you doing? Get off of social media. Why? And how long? Let's settle something. How long? So cut to maybe a couple weeks or so later, I had a friend of mine send me a flyer via text message. That's important. She said, here, girl, I think you should apply for this. I know you got some script that matches this thing. You stay writing. And I was like, you're not wrong. I did have a script, but it did not match the format that the competition was looking for. The flyer was of a pitch competition. It was a 90-second pitch competition where you literally have 1 minute and 30 seconds to pitch your idea in front of a panel of industry judges. And then the winner of that competition gets their project picked up by a production company and has it made and shot professionally. They wanted a short film. I had a 2-minute teaser that belonged to a web series idea, so I did not have a film. Plus, the deadline for the competition was 3 days away. Are you serious? What the heck? Sorry, pissed me off. The deadline for the project was 3 days away. Something about Jesus and the number 3. I don't know. Like I said, I did not have a script in the format that they were asking for. But because I am a type A Nigerian, I made it happen in 2, honey. But it turned into a short film, submitted it, boom. Fast forward to the competition. I pitched my idea in front of a panel of industry judges, pitched against other writers. I ended up winning, spoiler alert. My project was picked up, produced by a professional company, and it was way bigger and way better than I could have ever imagined. If you've seen the other video, you know how nerve-wracking of a process it was for me, but we did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. You're gonna be the next president of the United States. So now that you know the backstory behind it, I want to quickly share 3 things that I learned during this experience. Number 1, you will not miss What is yours? Me being off of social media meant that although I was scared that I would miss opportunities and I wasn't technically in the room or in the virtual room, there were people, i.e. my friend, who saw the competition flyer, thought of me, and then sent it to me. Mind you, I'm not the only screenwriter friend that she knows. Actually, she's a screenwriter herself and decided to send it only to me. That sounds like a godsend if you ask me. I wasn't in the virtual room, but I had friends and people who were looking out for me that were in the room. Also, something to note is that although I did not technically have what was required of me, I had something very similar. I was able to edit and submit the thing quickly in 2 days because I at least had something to edit. I had a starting point. Imagine if I would have been telling God,
I want to make a film. I really want to take my career in TV and film, and I want to do this Hollywood thing.
Telling him that, but then also not doing my part by writing the thing on the back end when the opportunity came to me. I would have been spending too much time trying to prepare for the opportunity after it had already come to me versus already being prepared. The second point is that what usually looks like a setback to the world is usually a setup from God. Going dark on socials for however long it was really felt counterproductive to my goal, especially considering that my whole film shoot had just crumbled after everyone ghosted me. And me, with my human eyes and my human brain, my lack of foresight to the future, clearly thought, obviously, I'll just start reaching out to other folks, texting people, reaching out to folks on social media, researching how I can just rebuild my own crew. God was like, girl, you ain't even gotta do that. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. That's black.
He said, I'm gonna build it for you. How about that? Another thing is that when God wants his name on something, he wants everyone to know that it was him. Because had I found the opportunity myself scrolling on social media, actively looking for competitions and etc., or had I already written a script in the exact proper format that they wanted, or maybe even had connection to the industry judges that were there, I would have just credited myself for the turnout. But none of those things happened. He made sure that the only person that could take the credit was him. And then the third point is overflow. God's covering is always going to be more than we can ever ask, think, or imagine. So not only did I get the film made, but it was made with a budget that I could never have raised on my own. I did not have that much money, y'all. Like I said, I had just moved back from playing basketball overseas. I could not get a job no matter how many interviews I had, no matter how many degrees I have. I was quite literally sleeping on my mom's couch, hopping back and forth between her couch and my sister's couch because I did not have a place of my own. I had nothing. Oh, it was bad. He made it so that not only did I make the film at a higher scale than I did when I was trying to make the 2-minute teaser, but I didn't have to pay for producers, a production team, cast, crew, locations, camera equipment, nothing. We had streets blocked off, police escort. I never would have been able to think of doing that on my own, y'all. And then we got accepted into almost 20 film festivals. We screened domestically and internationally, including in my home country of Nigeria. Naija no de carry last. If you know, you know. Can I sing? But even more than that, we've also landed 3 independent streaming deals. We earned a little money, and at one point we were also in talks with a production company who wanted to buy the film and turn it into a full feature-length film, like a full 1.5 to 2-hour film. Y'all, from this little 2-minute teaser that I was gonna make, 2 pages, y'all. It was a 2-page script. My God. I wonder where all the people who ghosted me are today. Except for the sound guy. My God. Eflon Ray, shouts to you. He's also Nigerian. So I wonder if, you know what I mean? It still blows my mind because, like I said, the idea was to use that to then crowdfund and ask folks for money so that I can make a bigger film later. And God was like, F all that. Skip all that. You said bigger film? Watch this. Watch this. Here is the bigger film without all the hassle. On a platter, just for you. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up, but I just want to end by saying this. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. Be obedient to God if there is something that he is asking you to do, even if you do not feel like it. Even if it feels like a setback, even if it feels like slowing down, even if it feels like doing something that the people around you are not doing. Promise, if he's the one that sets you back, he's only setting you back as a slingshot, baby. And you know what happens to a slingshot when you let it go? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? God is different. There's always something bigger and better on the other side of obedience. So please just be obedient. And then my second thing is remember that God does not play by the same rules as the rest of the world. When he wants to elevate you, he will. He is God all by himself, and he does not need anybody's permission. That's it, y'all. That is the story about how me going dark and taking a break from social media actually ended up landing me my first production deal as a non-experienced filmmaker. Okay, That's it. I'm done. Wait, I'm not done. Let me know if you guys want to actually see the film. It's something that I have not shared publicly because right now it currently lives on a few different streaming platforms, but I have the licensing rights, so I can put it on YouTube if I want. And I've been thinking about lately, it's been on my heart to just post it on YouTube and just let it live there as well. So I think I'm going to do that in the next coming weeks, but I don't know. Let me know. What do you think? Should I put, I don't know. Do you guys want to see the film? No, just a tell. Okay, seriously, if you enjoy any kinds of chats that talk about things like faith, film, fitness, and all that jazz, please hit that subscribe button because I'm really trying to do better about growing my platforms and being more consistent on YouTube. Comment below if you can relate or if you have any thoughts, and let me know if y'all want to see the film for real. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.